Welcome to this lecture about for loops. Before starting, we need to explain what is a loop. A loop is a block of code that iterates a list of commands as long as the loop control condition is true. So how it looks like? Here is the standard for loop. It takes first item from the list and assign its value to variable arg. Then list of commands between keywords do and done are executed. And after this one loop is finished, into variable arg is assigned next item from the list and so on. To understand it fully, we can look at this example. We are iterating through a list which contains 3 items: Mercury, Venus and Earth. Firstly, to variable planet is assigned value Mercury, then we will perform commands between keywords do and done, which in our case means printing value of variable planet, which is now Mercury. Then into variable planet is assigned Venus, and we will print it also, and then finally value Earth is assigned into variable planet and we will print it. There are no other items to loop over, so the loop control condition is false and we are continuing with the script code after keyword done. Very often you can see looping over value of a variable. Here you can see we have assigned into variable planets string Mercury, Venus, Earth. What will be the result if we loop over it? Result will be the same as in previous slide. So the question is why? Why the for loop prints each planet instead of printing just one string? Because internal field separator defaultly separates by space. For loop doesn't see only one string. Thanks to internal field separator, it sees 3 strings: Mercury, Venus and Earth. But if we in our example used quotation marks with variable planets, we would basically tell strictly follow created string planet and don't separate. For that case, the for loop would iterate only one time and we would see printed Mercury, Venus, Earth as one string on one line. Let's see another example with internal field separator. Into variable planets, we are assigning Mercury, Venus, Earth separated by comma. For loop in that case would iterate only one time and we would see printed only one string. As internal field separator doesn't contain comma symbol, there is nothing to separate in our variable. As internal field separator defaultly separates also by new line, we can assign into variable planets Mercury, Venus, Earth separated by new line, and in that case would internal field separator separate our string to 3 strings, and as output of for loops we would see printed each planet on different line. We can in for loops also use wildcards. Here for example in the list are all text files, and for each text file we are printing them. Using for loops we can iterate any number times. Here for example we are iterating through list of 1 to 10 range, so 10 times iterating. For loops are also hugely used for looping through all arguments provided, as we can see in this example. We have also possibility to use for loops in C style. Here we are using double parentheses and inside them we are setting default value. So we are starting here with variable I equals to 1. Then we have loop control condition. So we will iterate through this for loop when value of variable I is less than or equal to 10. And the last part is incrementing. That means at the end of each iteration, we are increasing value of variable I by 1. Of course, we can also decrement and not only by 1. It's up to us what operation we will do here, but most commonly in this type of for loops is perform increment operation by 1. So that was a lot of information in very short time. Kind of exhausting, but don't worry. Best way to remember the usage would be to see it on some example in next lecture.